In we
Here
go.
we go.
All right. So here we are.
Oh no!
Black Forest.
We are going to be here a while.
Expected. A lot of the chat was saying, "Ah, Falconstray, he's going to choose Black Forest," and yes, Black Forest he has chosen. Don't like this map. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, as I was going on in years in AOC, of course, I did play a lot on this map, and
Uh-huh.
it's one of those maps where it's definitely a lot more fun to play than it is to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of the maps that most players who are new to AOC will start on. A lot of newer players will play Black Forest, and they then end up, if they're serious about 1v1, they might end up going into something else like Arabia or full random. Of course, you do have a lot of high-level players playing Black Forest as well, but it's certainly a little less common to see.
Yeah, we may as well knock out right now that both players are playing as the Celts in this situation, which means, of course, increased wood gathering, and both players already walling themselves in.
Yeah, so we're going to see booming up until the Imperial Age, maybe the Castle Age. Sometimes you do get lucky and you have a good Black Forest map where the choke point is actually not really a choke point at all. Nock there getting his scout in. Falconstray going to be able to take that down. He did get the first hit, and Nock there not really going to be able to get much info from that anyway, because of course the map is explored.
Yeah, so really all he's going to be able to do is keep that scout moving for as long as possible and just really see what kind of tech route Falconstray wants to take here. But apart from that, I'm expecting we're probably going to see it die off soon for no particular reason.
Yeah, I'm kind of just thinking now that I wish there was a fast forward button. I mean, there is a fast forward button, but I don't think it works because obviously this is
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. Oh well, but we can see though, Nock did move forward with his scout before grabbing all his sheep there. So gonna have to send some villagers out of their way to grab them if he needs them later on, which could hurt his economy. Well, I want to say hurt, but in this kind of a setup, it's not really gonna hurt really that much at all.
No.
Just gonna be a few seconds out of a potential 25-minute boom.
Yeah, exactly. But we could still see some interesting stuff. Celts, they do get siege onagers. It could be possible that someone gets on the onager hype and cuts through the forest. That's something that I always love to see in Black Forest. That's something that I used to try and aim for every game I played. But it's unlikely in a lot of situations. And the thing is with Celts as well, is that the amount of siege that they can produce and how sort of heavy they are in gold, this choke point can become a pretty big bloodbath later on.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Especially looking at this, just how small it is. Get a few siege onagers in there, going to be able to hold that down for a long time. Siege onager though, really expensive upgrade to get and dedicate to. However, 90% of the time, extremely worth it. But really going to come down to what his opponent's doing, and if he can, of course, cut in, like you were saying, if either does cut in, catch their opponent off guard really, and just flood their economy with potential knights, word raiders, whatever they choose to make.
Yeah. It can make a big difference. I mean, one thing that's worth noting is that both these guys, obviously the map is unexplored, so if you look up to the north, there's actually a little pocket of area inside of this tree line here. It does have a relic and some gold, so making siege onagers to cut through to there later on could be a great idea, and of course relics do give you that gold boost over time. Could be worth collecting them up pretty early as well.
Well, the siege onager at that stage pretty much going to be worth it because they will cut their way to more gold.
Yeah,
then
definitely.
The upgrade is actually worse. So a little bit of ray of hope there to see the almighty siege onager come up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something that in 1v1 you see a little less often because, as you said, it's such an expensive unit to produce, such an expensive unit to upgrade, and in a 1v1, gold is so important because it's not infinite, I suppose. Well, it is infinite in the sense that relics will produce infinite gold, but so slowly. It's going to be kind of difficult to really produce a lot of gold units later on.
Yeah, it's a lot of resources to dedicate to a single upgrade.
Yeah, definitely. When your gold is so scarce and it's so important, it's exactly right.
Yeah, and the difference between winning or losing could be the gold you're spending on that upgrade itself, not being able to get units out on the field to be able to put up the damage they need.
Exactly. It's kind of, we're finding the balance there. One thing to point out as well is on Black Forest you do have, of course, the extra boar. I'd be interested to see if either player does go for that. I mean, if you look on Falconstray's side, he has 3 boar there near the ice patch, and that's a lot of food That's over 1,000 food right there in those boar alone, and villagers do gather from boar very quickly, so we could see him mill this later on and take those boar still. Could be interesting to see that.
Yeah, it would definitely give him a bit of a food advantage there compared to the only 2 of knockover towards the front there by the looks of things.
Definitely. But one thing to note now is that Falconstray is luring these deer towards his TC, which is something that Nock is not going to be able to do now that he's lost his scout. So Falconstray getting himself a little advantage there, and of course deer, although they only have 140 food, villagers do gather from them extremely quickly, and these extra deer might just help Falconstray up to the castle age slightly sooner, in which case he could do a faster and better boom, and maybe end up getting an advantage from that.
Yeah, of course, the first person into the castle age can have quite a big advantage because that means they will get town centers up earlier, and from there have increased villager production, and I guess continuing on from there, that leads to a better economy, which leads to more units out in play to pretty much fight with.
Yeah,
which, of course, if you can overwhelm your opponent, that's pretty much the game.
Yeah, and in Black Forest, you have so much time to yourself, you're not really worried about a flush coming in. I mean, it could be possible to tower this center area and try and push through with that, but very risky. You do have that time to yourself where you can make the most of every natural resource you have. You can see now Nock putting this mill at the front. He's going to take those deer, he will take the boar as well. And if Falconstray doesn't, then Nock going to get himself a little advantage there.
Yeah, small advantage, but definitely, like we said before, small advantages definitely add up to big ones, and every resource he saves is resource that can go into military, and from there, push out into his opponent and hopefully take more resources away from him.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I'm interested to see how they decide to play their feudal age still. Of course, they are both going to Fast Castle, not going up on 27 villagers. Of course, he lost his scouts, so that's 27 villagers. And Falconstray going up on 27 as well. But Falconstray is starting to take stone right now. Now, there's 2 options of doing it. You can sell your stone for gold and then advance that way, which usually does work better, as the stone price at the market is better than the gold price. Well, you can sell 100 stone for more than 100 gold initially, so that does work out. But as Nock is doing, he's taking gold right now in order to get up to the castle age. So I think Falconstray's idea here for taking the stone is a good one.
I agree with that one there as well, because once he does sell the stone, hopefully going to have the 200 by the time he gets up to castle age to be able to plonk down those 2 town centers.
Yeah.
From there, we'll already have villagers on stone as well, so he's going to be able to put up even more town centers if he leaves them there.
Yeah, precisely. Falconstray is starting to lure this boar in with this scout right here, deciding to do that rather than build a mill over there, and doing a pretty good job of it. He may lose his scout if he's not careful. One more hit may bring it down. I'm not quite sure. It might be 1 hit or 2, but either way, Falconstray now gonna get that boar in, and that's not too bad, you know.
Yeah, definitely a good effort. It looks like... Oh, gonna get the scout though.
Lost the scout. Unfortunate for him, but even so, he's kind of... It's kind of hard to say really, because Falconstray did have 3 boar here, but he's only taken 1. Nock has taken 2 boar, and he will take the deer as well, so he's going to have more food, but he did spend extra 100 wood on the mill, so it's kind of hard to work out where the little advantages and disadvantages are lying right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much a game of math at this point, trying to figure it all out, and it's math really I can't be bothered to do right now.
Yeah, so we can see Falconstray selling that stone. He's going to sell that, get the gold, and the stone is a great thing to sell because the sell price for stone initially is over 100 gold, so it's more efficient to take the stone than it is to take the gold. But Nock did manage to click up to castle first. There's a few seconds in it, and they are both on 29 population, or 29 villagers. So now it's going to come down to TCs. Yeah,
on Stray at the moment, actually having that really smart idea, selling off his stone. Of course, it looks like he's going to have at least 300 stone easily by the time he gets up to the castle age now. And it's just a question of wood and whether he wants to go up to so many TCs that he's really got to ask himself.
I mean, the question is, are they going to go 3 and make a big push through the center? Or are they going to go for 4 TCs and really boom it up? It's quite common to see 4 TCs, and obviously we'll see once Falconstray stops taking stone. Well, he won't because he'll want castles, but how many he actually puts up. But as we said earlier, he's already got those villagers taking stone. Gold for him right now, really not important, as he's just focusing on getting those TCs up and starting to build his economy.
Yeah, and until we really see exactly what they want to do, we can't really make any comments on it. I can see that Unstray does have those few villagers left up at the lumber camp at the start, and looks like he's putting up an outpost. So it looks whether or not he's going to try and use those villagers to push or play defensively in case of a push from Nock is the question I'm asking right now.
Yeah. One thing to note is that Nock actually bought 100 stone from the market. So Unstray increased the price of the stone by selling it initially. And now Nock just bought the stone. So that's kind of interesting. Nock perhaps losing out slightly there, but up to castle first and 3 TCs going down straight away.
So it looks like he will be playing for that big boom game here. One coming up between wood and stone, other one coming up between wood and gold. Really good positions there, of course. Going to be able to take whatever resource he finds necessary at the point of, well, when he's creating villages.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, finding that balance is so important. You've got to make sure that your economy is well balanced towards the units you intend to make. And of course, at this stage, everything is pretty much needed. But making sure that you balance it effectively so that you don't have a massive buildup of wood later on and you're running low on food is so crucial.
That's exactly it, because that in the end will mean a slower imperial time and a slower military production. Looks like Unstray though has gone up to 4 town centers straight away.
Yeah.
Looks like he is abandoning the stone right now, so he's going to be devoting everything he has into economy just to get himself the biggest wood and food production I'm guessing that he can right now.
Yeah, definitely, and that's one of the things, once you got to the castle age and you've got those 4 TCs up, you need to make sure you've got enough food income to sustain villager production from all 4, because if you do stop that villager production, your opponent will get ahead. And right now we can see that Nock is slightly further ahead. He has 40 population rather than Unstray's 38, and his villager production is, at this stage, slightly further ahead. It is very close.
Yeah, both players going up to the 4 town centers, so interesting to see them get that little bit of extra stone, but of course both players going to want the most efficient and powerful economy they can going into this.
Yeah, and of course the Celts, such a gold-intensive civilization later on in the game when they are producing all that siege. So it's going to be really important that they have a really strong economy to back it.
Yeah, and until really they start their military production, they've got to really just guess how they've got to balance it going into it. So a lot of experience comes into play there to know they need X amount of, say, villagers on wood to producing X amount of siege before they even start it. They can't look at it and go, alright, I need to send some villagers from here to here because I just don't have enough to keep one honor gear up going.
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, they're going to be behind on production.
Exactly. I think at this stage, Falconstray really did play that quite well. He's got his 4 TCs up, villager production is running smoothly. Nock did have a few moments where his TCs were idle, so Falconstray actually just closed that gap and starting to take a slight advantage. 55 pop for Falconstray, 56 for Nock, and it is very close. Of course, it really can't be any other way. I mean, you're left to your own devices, you are as efficient as you can be, really.
Yeah, we're seeing no harass whatsoever, so it's basically just the players microing their economy to the best they can right now, and whoever does come up with the best economy micro, gonna slowly but surely pull ahead.
Yeah, definitely, but then of course the battle can still be won or lost when it comes down to the unit composition, and of course the way that the fight goes in the middle. So, I mean, for the time being, we really haven't got a great amount to watch apart from booming, which I'm sure most people out there are very well aware how it goes down.
Yeah, booming, of course, the one thing you can sit and watch, and you can see it practically the same every time. Maybe a few changes in villages, of course, different map, but apart from that, it really just goes down the same way every single time. Especially under a civ like Celts, you know exactly what kind of compositions they want to use and how they want to use them.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing here that Nock is doing slightly different at the moment is he did add villagers to stone a little bit earlier. Unstray has 2 villagers gathering stone right now. Nock has a good 7 or so, which does mean that he will probably try and put a castle up in this center area and start pushing down these walls from Unstray. And I think gaining control of that choke point early on is really important.
You're exactly right, because once you get through there, you're out of that little area and you're going to be able to get a better concave.
Yeah.
Of course, anyone running into that area is pretty in a lot of trouble. They don't have a lot of room to move, not a lot of room to micro.
Yeah.
So some Onagers behind that can clean up pretty much anything in that choke very quickly. So
Yeah.
the faster you can get through there, the bigger the advantage you're going to have.
Definitely. And you know what was quite interesting there? They both literally put up a monastery within 2 seconds of each other. And they're both...
I actually heard it happen.
That was quite
It's-
amusing.
Yeah, so both players having a relatively similar build for this, actually. And I think on Shrey, against people, especially people who are really good on Arabia, generally don't play a lot of Black Forest. So it could be
Yeah.
a smart move by him to go for this, and might not be expecting Enoch right now to be playing so well.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously booming is something that you're going to do on Arabia anyway, even if you're in a pocket position, for instance. But
Yeah.
when it comes to Black Forest, it's a little bit different, I suppose. And maybe, you know, as what you said on Shrey may just be thinking that Nock is more of a 1v1 player, perhaps not likely to play Black Forest much, and maybe anticipating him to be a little bit, not rusty, but kind of unsure of exactly what he wants to be doing here.
Yeah, both points have a bit of validness to them. Like, the unit compositions will be relatively the same. However, if Unshrey can use the map to his advantage, which I think is what he's hoping to do here, might be able to just pull out a win, hopefully.
Maybe, but one thing to note right now is that Nock does have enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age. He's taking a lot of stone, and there's a siege workshop going up for him, so he will be clicking up in just a moment. On Shrey, on the other hand, he has got enough food, lacking in a bit of gold, but he will, in just a second, have enough. Siege Workshop going up at the front, and he's going to click up too. I think Nock going to be slightly faster to get up to the Imperial Age, but on Shrey adding in a 5th TC right now at the top of his base as well, which could make quite a bit of difference.
Yeah, definitely going to make a difference in the long run there when it comes down to just economy wars, especially if gold runs out on this map. We'll just see a massive trash war where it's just going to be everything in until the last resource is down.
Yeah.
Siege Workshop coming up on the front as well for on Shrey there, so both players getting ready to make some kind of push. I think Nock at the moment definitely making a good decision, putting that castle up on the high ground there, so he's ready to defend that choke.
Yeah, definitely. And he might have to defend it for some time. Thankfully for him, he does have a bit of a hill there, which is nice for him to defend. We have a look at Onshrey. It's much more flat in his side. He has a little bit of a hill to the south, but it's not a huge one that you can really capitalize on. So for him, just making siege workshops right now. And we were pretty much correct in the assumption that they are going to be making a lot of siege.
Well, as Celts, especially on Black Forest, it's pretty much called for in this case. If you don't utilize the siege to your advantage here, chances are you're going to get flattened by it.
Yeah, definitely. And we can see it on Shrey with 3 workshops. Compared to Nox 1, on Shrey may just get the advantage there. And, you know, this wall is going to become pretty useless once that Siege Onager upgrade is done, because they can literally just cut around it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Castle coming up for Unshrey, and of course right now the wall only consisting of houses and palisade for a Nock. So if that mangonel does decide to get to work on it, could actually bust through there really quickly.
Yeah.
But Unshrey right now putting up another layer of stone wall. Looks like he's going to sit and defend and try and just whittle his opponent down.
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, Nock starting to make Woad Raiders right now. It's a great unit choice. Of course, if he does make his way through those walls, he can do a very quick run by and really hurt on Shrey's economy. But at the same time, he can use them to take out mangonels pretty quickly as well. So Woad Raiders likely to be seen from both players here.
You've actually covered the Woad Raider there completely right in this kind of situation. It's pretty much the perfect unit to be using, considering its speed, the Celts, of course, and infantry civilization, well, infantry siege. So that extra advantage he's going to get there, having those Woads out so early, going to be able to hopefully run in, kind of kill out a bit of siege, maybe try and get into the economy, pull back, whatever he really decides to do with it there. Going to be interesting.
Yeah, perhaps, and we can see both of them researching Onager right now. The Mangonel War has begun. The Onager upgrade done for Nock, not done for Falcon Shrey just yet, but Elite Woad Raider on the way for Falcon Shrey, so definitely both going to see Woad Raiders. One Mangonel down each, and really it's going to be very stalematy until perhaps the Siege Onager upgrade is done, and they can start to cut around and really make some sort of passageways into their opponent's base.
Nock already on siege on though. Looks like he is ready to go aggressive here. Hopefully going to catch his opponent off guard. But there goes Siege Onigo for Entree as well.
Yeah, it's expected, and you know, as we said at the start of this game, Siege Onager is a great decision to make. It is a good unit choice for this map, and back to with those Woad Raiders, I think the main tactic here is going to be try and cut around, sneak the Woad Raiders through, and damage the opponent's, well, their opponent's economy, because it's such a powerful economy at this stage.
Yeah, the only problem with that really being if they are starting to lose the middle, the Woad Raiders are going to be needed in the center. So as soon as one player does start to get an advantage in the middle, that's when we're going to see a lot of economy damage happening.
Yeah, definitely. At the moment, it's pretty even. Two Mangonel, well, Onagers lost each, and they're both just going to be keeping on the production of that, I think. Onagers coming out for Entree, but surprisingly, no Woad Raiders just yet. He is researching conscription, but still not adding in those Woad Raiders just yet.
Flora Celta on the way, of course, for Entree as well, giving his, well, Siege a lot of extra hit points. Really interesting research to get, especially in this kind of warfare zone that we're going to get. Going to take a little bit more to hit and knock off of that Siege equipment.
Yeah, definitely, but there's the Siege Onager upgrade for Knock right now, and straight away cutting through that wood, and as we said, those walls going to be absolutely useless because they're cut through, they're cut around even, instantly. And I think now, Nock gonna cut them down, send those Woad Raiders in, and once Entree loses his Onagers, maybe Nock can push to an advantage.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And he did go for the cut there straight away. It looks like he did want it to get some damage happening. It looks like he's going to finalize the cut.
Yeah.
No, Woads are going back, but yep. There we go, going to finalize the cut there.
But that
Flora Celta not done for
Knock.
Knock though.
And that makes a huge difference. It does mean that Falcontrade can resist one Siege Onager hit, and that does it's a huge thing for him. It's massive. At the moment though, Knock just running in with those Woads. It looks like Entree might just have more, but the upgrades are in favor of Knock right now, focusing down those Siege Onagers as quickly as he can, and Falcontrade coming out on top, it seems. Sheer numbers winning that one.
Yeah, easily. Really good defense from him, and actually starting to take the points and score as well, which means he probably has a better economy behind this, maybe a little bit more military production as well.
Yeah, well, as we said earlier, I mean, Falcontrade did add that extra TC at the north right there, so it could be the case that he does have more villagers. Let's have a quick look at the military tab. Knock is really down, 9 infantry, 3 siege, compared to the 4 siege and 35 infantry of Falcontrade. The score there definitely coming from that military production.
Looks like Falcontrade going out for a small poke there just to see what's going on, squatting his opponent's castle there, and knowing it's going to need heavy siege to get through there nice and easily without too much disruptions from those siege onagers of his opponent.
Yeah, I think so indeed. You know, right now, Falcontrade could do with some rams or some trebs as well, just to start whittling down on those castles. And yeah, he is adding those trebs right now. Okay, so there we go. 4 trebs coming out for Falcontrade. Nock doesn't have any trebs at this stage, though he is keeping up production of Woads, it seems, although temporarily stopping for now.
Yeah, Entree at the moment actually having siege engineers as well, so he's actually got the extra range on those siege onagers as well, which means when we come down to the micro war here, gonna have a big advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Flora Celtica, it's certainly done for Knock at the moment with that 105 HP, but without those siege engineers, as you said, lacking that little bit of range, it can make a big difference. And now Falcontrade with those trebs out, gonna start making work on Knock's castles right there. And as you said, that extra range, that allowed him to take out all of those siege onagers without a single loss.
And of course, siege onager is not a cheap unit to have at all, and with that extra range, it looks like, yeah, going to be able to just fire over and keep those trebuchets completely defended.
Yeah, definitely. Woad Raiders going in right now and trying to just take out those siege onagers as fast as they can, but not losing one castle on the front. More trebs, I think, coming out for Falcontrade, or maybe actually just more Woads. Yeah, more Woad Raiders for now. But yeah, that infantry siege combination, trebs behind it, and even using those trebs to attack ground right there to try and just take whatever extra damage they can.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the use of the attack ground button with these onagers as well. Really going to come down to a lot of speed between the players, because of course if they can kill off a good chunk of those roads with a really good attack ground, going to be in a good spot when the infantry war starts in the middle.
Yeah, definitely. One of my favourite things to see in this game, though, is Woad Raiders getting flattened by, well, any units getting flattened by trebuchets. It's quite amusing. I'm surprised he's not aiming for the onager, really, right there.
Well, he probably is, honestly.
There we go. Got it.
There we go, but like we know, trebuchet is not exactly the best direct hit unit, so probably trying to focus them down, but I don't know. It's looking like Nock does have a good position on top of this hill here. And it's going to be hard for Unstray to take it down.
Yeah, I'm going to keep a close eye on the military tabs. 19 siege units for Falconstray, 5 for Nock, but he's got 60 Woad Raiders out right now, and that is no small number. And I think if Falconstray does stop or reduce his Woad Raider count, he could be in a bad position still.
Alright, cool. It says, I thought my game had frozen there for a second. I was starting to freak out a little bit, but looks like we're just waiting for the players. Hopefully a pause and not a drop. Most likely a pause, of course.
Yeah, I think a pause. If it is a drop, though, we are 6 minutes behind, so they could have restarted the game without us, which is kind of lame.
But they would have had to change the lobby in that point as well. I can actually alt-tab and see if they're still there, I guess. No, everyone's still there.
Okay, so perhaps it's a pause, for all we know. There wasn't any mention of a pause, so I'm not sure, but I'm assuming it's going to be a pause.
Yeah, I'd like to think we would have seen something if the other player just dropped out from the other player, you know, and are you there, or a question mark. I don't know. Most likely a pause, so hopefully nothing bad.
Who knows? Interesting. Look at the north of the map. That relic there being taken by Falconstray. He really is utilising that siege onager. Kind of cool, that one, and I think that's certainly a good decision for him to make. It's going to give him that extra gold, and it's going to mean that he can move his villagers up to there to take that as well.
Yeah, and especially right now, if Nock isn't expecting it, could potentially cut all the way through if he wants to. Not looking like it though, because he doesn't have any woads behind it ready to go in. But of course, as soon as he does get those extras, could potentially just flatten his way in through there, and he's going to be right in his opponent's economy if he comes out there.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, at this stage, Falconstray has so many more onagers at the moment. 3 siege workshops for Nock compared to the 6 from Onstray. So his siege onager, 7 even. His siege onager production is going to be a lot higher. And the question is the siege onagers going to be able to make the difference? Or is it going to be the Woad Raiders that really are making the difference here?
Well, I feel like it's really going to come down to the micro of the players there. Like we were saying before, a good attack ground.
What?
What?
Admin win for you. Nock resigned.
Wow.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. Falconstray is going to take this series.
That's very inconclusive.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing, but at least we didn't get a 2-hour choke point war on Black Forest. But yeah, Falconstray going to take that, and I think Nock maybe just had to go or something, hence why he said admin win, because he didn't say GG.
Wow, that's...
Oh, hang on.
I don't even know what to say.
Hang on, scroll up in the chat. It says, hang on a second, my father, admin win for you. And then he left.
See, now that's why I didn't play the game at home.
Yeah, I guess he had to go then. And that clearly means that Falconstray is going to take it. Kind of a little bit of an anticlimax, but...
Yeah, pretty big letdown there. But like you said, I don't know. I think I might have preferred going through a big choke point war than seeing that, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. But I would say at this stage of the game, Falconstray was certainly ahead anyway. The fact that he had the extra gold in the north and that he had so much more military production at this stage, I would go out on a limb and say that Falconstray did have quite a big advantage there.
I agree. He would have been able to push up that hill slowly but surely. The trebuchets weren't there. The onagers were there in position. There was a lot of woads, but the onagers were definitely in favour of Unstray in this point. And like you said, he's just going to be able to push up that hill slowly but surely.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. This has been game number 3. Falconstray going to take the series 2-1, and he will advance to round 2 of the qualifiers, where he's going to be up against No23 or some Czech guy, not sure who.
Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the games. We did get to the third, so at least we did get the first... Well, I guess we got two and a half games, I guess.
2.5 games, yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, before we end, I'm going to play another advert. There will be some more games coming up at 5 PM GMT, so if you are around, check them out. But